Hey there, hey, and thank you for tuning into this Monday pod of Born to Be a Star. Today is another day and another opportunity for you to recognize your star power. And that starts off by recognizing where you've been and where you're going to next in your stardom or your star journey. Starts off by looking in your mirror and loving what you're seeing. Even if you don't really love what you see, find a way to love it anyway. I can be the first one to tell you there's times when I look in the mirror and I look at myself before I get ready to go to work every day and I'm just like, I don't really know if I can do this shit. I call out and then I don't. And then I just take a shower, brush my teeth, and I go to work, right? I put the mouthwash in. I try to grab a bar or something before I head out the door to get into the car, and I just go to work and I just do it. And I'm finding ways to love myself. I'm finding ways to appreciate who I am. Because for a long time that was difficult. And I can definitely tell you, if you're listening to this, you can learn to love yourself, right? We should be starting off our day every day by saying to ourselves, yes, we can have a great day. Yes, we can try something new. Yes, we can learn something differently. Maybe we want to cook a different food we've never cooked before. Maybe we want to learn about a different heritage or a different country we've never been to before. Maybe we want to travel somewhere we've never been before. Maybe it's time for us to upgrade our car finally. Yes, you can decide that you want to change your favorite color, or maybe you want to start going to the gym, or maybe you want to change your style. Maybe you want to get streaks in your hair. Maybe you want to get your hair cut. Maybe you want to dye your hair a new color entirely. Maybe you're tired of the nail shop you go to and you want to switch your nail salon, or maybe you don't want to go to a nail salon. Maybe you want to have kids. Maybe you don't want to have kids. Maybe you're tired of paying for rent and you want to buy a house and you want a mortgage instead of a rent. Maybe you have a mortgage and you're sick of paying a ridiculous HOA and you're ready to get back into renting because you're being overcharged. Maybe you love your dog and you want to get another one. Or you are sick of looking at the background in your kitchen and you want to do it over, right? And you want a new stove. Whatever the idea is, you should be saying to yourself, yes, I can. And if you try, you can find a rhyme or a reason to get those things done and to accomplish them. Following the idea of saying to yourself, yes, you can, you should also be saying to yourself, I'm never going to give up. Because how can you love yourself or anyone else and be willing to give up on them or yourself, be willing to cave into fear and anxiety, and be willing to allow the doubters to win? How can you succeed in that if you say that? The best thing that I could ever say to you every day is that we have to persevere through difficulty. We have to get through things that are not comfortable, and we have to push forward even if we don't like it. Right? I've given you so many examples throughout my life of things that necessarily did not go the way I wanted it to. Me feeling iffy. Lately, I've been feeling strange about the fact that everybody I know is having kids and I still don't have any yet, and it kind of sucks because I don't really understand what the hell is going on, but I give it to God. That's just an example of me not giving up, whether it be me trying to take a test or me considering taking Series 6 or me considering doing this or that. The anxiety I had before starting this podcast a couple of years ago, I think it was about 3 years at this point. No, I think it was 4. Started the podcast about 4 years ago, didn't I? Whatever the case may be, right? It is important and crucial that you find your strength, you find yourself, you find your star power in the midst of chaos with the worst news given to you, and you find your light in that darkness and you surround yourself with that, because giving up and giving in is never the answer. What are you going to achieve by giving up, right? Yesterday I caught myself. I almost got depressed, right? I almost started crying. I almost started feeling bad for myself. And I caught myself in the mix of a really difficult mind thought. And I said to myself, why am I getting sad about this? All the things I do have are great. So why am I sad about this? Right? And instead of me being upset, I went the other direction and I got happy. That's the example. Fight through the difficulty to get back to the good. That's the idea of Never Give Up with John Cena. When we think about all the men and women that sacrifice their lives, that are, stationed in different places throughout the world to represent the United States of America or even other countries. We think about the men and women men and women that serve. There's probably a lot they're going through that they don't just say to people. And if John Cena can have a mantra of never give up to them, why can't we have that same mantra for ourselves? No, we can't give up, and we shouldn't. I'm never going to give up on you, and I hope, for God's sake, you don't give up on me either. And moving on from the idea of never give up, let's get into the final part of the mantra, which is why not today, because we all know procrastination and indecisiveness is never going to be the answer. Putting off the day for tomorrow, pretending like you can buy time and you don't have a click remote like Adam Sandler is not the answer, dude. If you got the availability and the time to get it done, right? Why are we pretending like we have availability that does not exist? It's insane. I don't know. It's just not cool. I don't like taking forever. I told you that I love organization, and I don't really think anybody should like taking too long to make a decision. Typically that backfires, right? If you don't buy something right away and you find it and you wait and you try to save it, it's likely not going to be there when you return. The example that I give you about the dishwasher every day, why would you want to wash dishes if you don't have to? Like, why are you trying to fix the washing machine in the basement and you don't know how to? And please tell me you're not going to try to pretend to be a mechanic because you don't want to bring your car to the mechanic or the shop. None of those things are the answers, and we have to really take advantage of the time when we have it available. That's the idea of why not today. But moving on from the mantra to something hilarious, let's get to the headlines with no media allowed, no media allowed, no media allowed, because they lie to us anyway. So I hesitated to do the podcast on Friday, and I ended up doing a weekend variation of the podcast. Thank you for being patient with me, stars. I really just wanted to listen and watch that stupid-ass 22-minute interview between Stephanophagus, or whatever his name is, and Biden. And let me just come out and tell you that the interview didn't help Biden at all. It was a complete embarrassment. And that if you are supporting Joe Biden, then you're supporting Kamala Harris for president. Because he isn't going to last. Outside of the fact that that interview was crap and it didn't help him failing at that debate he had on Thursday, I think we need to come away with one observation. He's been this way the entire time. Why is it that now the leftist media and all these crazy ass people are coming out saying like he's deteriorating? I've been saying this shit for years. I was saying this when he was running for president, right? What's wrong with you people? Why is no one admitting reality? Everybody likes to lie for whatever reason. I don't understand it, but they're doing it. But that's fine. Joe Biden figured out a con game for the United States of America, how to get paid for doing nothing. And he has been doing that for decades upon decades upon decades. Now, I'm not going to talk about Joe Biden and not talk about something that starts with a P. Policy. Now, every time I talk about Joe Biden on No Media Allowed, I'm going to bring up policy too. Everything that he has created, right? Continuing to still attempt to do student loan forgiveness. I saw some ad on Google today about him trying to give away $1,300 checks or some shit. Everything he has attempted to do to bypass the Supreme Court, to bypass actual laws, to attack Donald Trump and give him all these ridiculous cases with the Department of Justice doing his dirty work, pretending like we can't tell reality from real, and that millions upon millions of people did not actually watch that debate the other night. Everybody saw exactly what I did. He's not there. The policies that he has created, blabbering about green energy, which is a lie and a scam, honkering down on us, telling us that we all have to have electric vehicles, and some of us don't want them. I'm not saying you can't like them, but if I was going to get an electric vehicle, it would only be a Tesla. Probably the SUV one, maybe a BMW, perhaps, maybe. But I would want a luxury electric vehicle. I wouldn't want something cheap like a Prius. In fact, I hate them. But the idea that Joe Biden and the Democratic Party is going to tell me that I need to get an electric vehicle by a certain year and they're not going to pay for it, it's kind of insane. So you want me to get this and you're not going to pay for it, and you're going to try to psych me into this shit by giving me $6,000 off some ridiculous price vehicle? Pass. Dude, here's the message, right? And I'm just going to give you the message because I'm not going to talk about Joe Biden anymore, because we can all see that he is an embarrassment to himself and all of us too in America and the world. If you live anywhere else in the world, you should be embarrassed too. If your leaders of your countries are pretending like Joe Biden is okay, you should be embarrassed, because he's not. The policies that he has gone along with this AOC secret group club crap that they're doing is embarrassing. They don't work, and we all know it. And the idea that we're going to continue to allow the insanity isn't the answer. Trying to punish the working class in the middle so you can get away with pillaging money from us continuously isn't the answer. And I used to get really irritated and upset and just extremely mad about politics. But I understand it now. They've been doing a con and a lying scheme on the American people and the people of the world forever, pretending like places that nobody wants to go to are attractive, pretending like they don't have some sort of exclusive plan for, what they actually want to do with wars. They want them to be never ending. Joe Biden has given lots of money to Ukraine, but he hasn't fixed the problem with the homeless people in America. He hasn't fixed the problems with the illegals killing Americans, and he definitely hasn't fixed the problems with inflation, right? Jerome Powell can't bring any of the numbers down. Janet Yellen doesn't know left from right, orange from green, and purple from brown. She is an idiot, an incompetent DEI hire, and she is white, and I'm saying that, and I mean it. Just like Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, just like Obama was a DEI hire, because he could talk great, and he might be educated, but he is another buffoon, and he is currently running the country. Him, his wife, and a bunch of other idiots are running the country because Joe Biden can't possibly be running it. I start this conversation off by talking about the embarrassment of last week and this weekend during that dumbass interview that he shouldn't have done. To bring up this point, the day after that debate, they should have come out with something. They shouldn't have waited days later. Fail there. Also, another fail. Every time he does something, it's not a cheap fake. It's him not being able to accomplish something and not being able to do it. The fact that the White House and his party continues to lie and make shit up isn't going to fix anything. He's not there, and he hasn't been. So we should all be really scared. If you're listening to this right now, you should be fearful. There's no one running the United States of America. White House is down. This is like one of those fucking movies that we've seen already, right? Where someone goes and attacks the president and they have all these malicious ideas and all these crazy things that they want to accomplish. That's happening right now. There is a 9/11 stewing and somebody's trying to create bombs and they're going to try to blow something up and they're going to want to kill people and they're going to want to do all these things. That's happening now. Joe Biden also showed up at a black church during the weekend and embarrassed himself because he didn't know where the hell he was. He continues on saying that he has been to black churches, and the first time he was at the black church was the other day. Do you hear this lady yelling for the National Education Associate? I mean, that's another example. This chick is clearly out of her mind. I have a serious question, though, before I get to the next segment of this. Am I not supposed to sit here and be seeing this as like a comedy show? Like, is anybody taking any of this shit seriously? All the things that I've just described to you, the fact that inflation is at an all-time high, Janet Yellen's a moron, Jerome Powell's a moron too, Joe Biden doesn't know left, right, his vice president is worse than he is, right? The media continues to lie and pretend we don't know what's happening. And he thought that he was going to embarrass Trump just to embarrass himself. And then you got this lady on a screen yelling about NEA, like a monster. Who are they talking to? Who's their target audience? This shit's embarrassing. I am bringing this back to what I just said to you. If you are a human being in the world right now, you should definitely be embarrassed by these ridiculous people. Like, this is a bad comedy show, and all I want to do is just laugh. I kind of want to cry because it's just embarrassing. Like, these people are in such denial, and they're so disconnected from reality that they seriously think that they're okay, and they got mental problems, like serious mental problems. Joe Biden is just embarrassing, and that lady at the NEA show, we are the NEA. No, you are an idiot. Just, God, shut up. How far do these people go? I don't know. Biden says nothing but God will stop him from running in the 2024 election. And God be the glory. God's going to bring him right back to the nursing home where he belongs. You know, because there's no way in hell he's going to win this election because he's a moron. Visiting angels. Every time I hear that, I just want to laugh. Literally, he needs to be in one of those fucking locked facilities with a key, man, and a harbor. That's where his ass needs to be, a harbor. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Clearly, he's got dementia and Alzheimer's, right? Like, seriously, he does. The switcheroo, where they're going to try to switch him out in a couple weeks, isn't going to work, because who they're going to try to switch him out with? And they can't get rid of Kamala Harris because there's black women that aren't going to allow that. So are they going to really try to get Michelle Obama to run? I got to see what's going to be her talking points here. Because have you seen her with her high sugar-induced drinks that she's trying to give kids? How are we going to turn that into something that could be navigated for her to be the president? Tell me how. The puppet strings are failing, right? Biden's the puppet, but whoever's moving the strings behind him has messed up. Because they showed the entire world that he is a puppet and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So once everybody sees the strings all together, we all come to this conclusion very easily. Biden's not there. And he hasn't been. So who's actually running the country? None of us know. Can the House return to blue? No way in hell. They have all these radical things they're trying to accomplish, and the radical things they're trying to accomplish don't match up to the normal things that Americans are trying to get done. So my guess would be they're not only going to not get the House, but they're also going to lose the Senate in the upcoming election. Because they've pissed off a lot of people that don't have anything but time to go vote their asses out of their positions. And if you thought Jamal Bowman was the last one to leave the squad, he isn't. It's going to be everybody's head on deck, and everybody's going to get a heaping pot of Joe. And you know what's been funny over the last couple of days? All the people who are talking all this crap about him last week and maybe even the week before are now claiming that Joe Biden is running as their Democratic leader, and they're all supporting it. Okay, Gavin Newsom.